Hello everyone, and welcome to this time a premiere draft of Neon Dynasty. Um, okay, pack is interesting. I think the first pick will be decided between two options. I do like the Naomi. I have drafted a couple of these decks that have artifact plus enchantment synergies. Um, I haven't been too impressed, but maybe I've been unlucky. But even if I have a high count of both, it's still too often when I'm missing one of them, and then the payoffs that require having both, of course, are a lot worse in that case. And I wouldn't be picking here I wouldn't be picking here a uh, two-color card as the first pick in the draft if it's not a crazy good bomb rare or a really good payoff. I don't think this is a really good payoff. There is a Selfless Samurai good 2-drop, but I think this pack just and this light pose is like okay, you can maybe get some minor value out of it, but it's just mostly a 2-mana 2/2. I take the Kami's Flare. I'm now willing to take some good build arounds at pick 1, for example, over a high quality removal spells, which this is, but I don't think that pack was quite strong enough for that. Now, I do like the Michiga's Reign of Truth quite a bit, but also there's a Touch the Spirit Realm, which is just, very consistent removal also, and the channel option can be handy sometimes too. I think I'll take the Touch the Spirit Realm over the Reign of Truth. I don't think there's really any other card that comes close to those two, so I'll take this. And here, alright, so the long reach of night, I quite like it. There's a Silver Fur Master, but doesn't really suit my first picks here. Although I could maybe figure out something about black being open. Although even though the pack has a lot of black cards, they are not really that good. I could just take the Spirited Companion because I took a white card already, and this is going to always be fine. So I think I'll take that over the Long Reach of Night. I think that this is the second option. But I think I'll take this companion. It's going to be a nice card always, I think. And this pack is a little bit weaker, perhaps. Born to Drive is mostly interesting if you have some of those vehicles. Of course, if you play white, you will have some of them, but I'm not exactly sure I care about a 3-mana 1/1 pilots effect. And the aura part of this card is not pretty risky. You don't usually want to offer your opponent such an easy 2-for-1. Although giving it to something like a Spirited Companion that already drew a card could make sense. What I'm thinking about here is the Simian Sling. If I will be white-red, I think I'm more interested in the Simian Sling than the Born to Drive. So there's also a Yukai Preserver though. I like it a lot. I think I still take the 1-drop here. It's a 1-drop format. I want to have early drops because easily opponents can curve out very fast. So you want to have your own early game too. It's between the Wanderer's Intervention and the Eiganjo Exemplar. I do like the 2-mana creature. The removal spell is okay, but I do prefer the 2-drop here. At least this time a little bit more. Oh, right here. I definitely like the Yukai Trainee. The Boseiju Reaches Skyward is another option you could consider. There's also a Sunblade Samurai. So I have to figure out if red is gonna be open or not. Because I've seen some green, so I could move green here, forgetting about the red, or maybe splash like a Kami's Flare and another red card that I might be finding later in the draft. That said, the Sunblade Samurai is quite okay, so maybe I'll just take that. Okay, at least this pack doesn't have anything from green, so it's going to be a white card. A Replication Specialist is definitely very good, but I don't really have a lot of. I mean, white is more of an enchantment color than an artifact color, so I don't think that's gonna be that amazing. Besides, I could still be red-white. So am I gonna take the Era of Enlightenment? I think I am going to take it. And then Subduer. What, 2 samurais, no warriors. Okay, I guess I can take it because I have some samurai stuff going on here. That's a fairly weak pack anyway. Plus, I think I will be white anyway, and I'll just check out if what's my second color. For example, yeah, I get this green here still. I could have taken the green card earlier. I like the green 2-drop samurai. But I'll take another subduer now. Let's maybe try to get this samurai stuff working. How about here? Ecologist terrarium. Mana fixing. If I would splash, that would be interesting. Maybe the +1/+1 counter isn't that great. It costs 2 mana to get it. I'd rather have the Regent's Authority actually. I don't like the Brute Suit much though. I like the flying 3/2 that has crew one a lot more. Alright, so here I will take now a Historian's Wisdom. And okay, how about this pack? Don't think the Heir of the Ancient Fang will be a card I'm gonna play even if I'm green, but I guess I can pick it here. Okay, the Modern Age this late. Yeah, the mech hanger isn't really that good. I will be white and then, you know, could be white-red, it could be white-green, or it could even be white-black, and of course it could be white-blue. And now I see a Jukan Defense the Temple, and I think this is one of the best cards for limited, at least in the entire set. So I'm taking it. I'm taking it just because it's a mythic rare. I still missed 2 of those. The other option would be like the Intercessor's Arrest, but there's no way I'm gonna pass up this Bum mythic rare. And now I'm a bit sad I didn't move to green earlier in the previous pack, because it was open the signs where there I could have done that decision. But now this is going to make me go green for sure. So let's take that. Soul Transfer is good. There's a Kami's Flare here. There's also the befriending the mods, but this is actually a splashable card. It's early enough. I can maybe get this Ecologist Terrarium back, for instance. And there are those common tap lands too. If I get a red-green or red-white common tap lands, splashing for these Kami's Flares could be interesting, because once I have one of them picked already, I think I could take another one over something like a Fang of Shigeki. This is still a very decent card. I like the befriending the mods, but I'm going to take now the Kami's Flare and prepare for splashing of some kind. I will cut the blue, that's not gonna be played. I don't think the Heir of the Ancient Fang will be played. It is a samurai, but if I can't make that into a... then I won't be splashing the Simian Sling. If I can't make this into a 3/4 reliably, I don't like to play it. Okay, there is an Ancestral Katana. Well, I have picked some samurai here, so currently 5 samurai, that's actually quite a few. Yeah, I can take it easily. Not that this pack has a lot of it. It does have a Ninja's Kunai, which is a good card for sure. Should I take it? I'll take a katana here. I think I can get those katanas later though, as well. But, well, I took one. Alright, here I'm taking a green 4-drop, I think. I could splash this, but I'm not that excited in the splash, and I might still, you know, ignore the splash if I don't get the fixing. Although something like a Greater Tanuki helps me with the splash, but I like the Preserver quite a bit. I don't have anything for 4. This is just a very good quality 4-drop with a lot of options, and also works if you have some enchantment synergy going on. Alright, so wrong kind of land. I want to have red-green. I wouldn't mind green-white, but when you are splashing, you definitely want the kind of dual land that gives you the splash color. Okay, what do I do with this pack? There is another Sunblade Samurai. I don't like the Bamboo Crow Archer, not in this kind of archetype. And I won't be taking another Katana. Now, if I'm going to... I'm just not sure I want to play multiple of these. I think one is fine. Now I will take the Invigorating Heartspring, because if I find the splashing means to splash, then I can do that. Okay. Well, it's not a surprise green isn't super open and red is quite open because of how pack 1 went. I'll take the Voltage Surge, but this splash starts to be... I mean, is it even gonna be a splash? Am I gonna splash this thing? I'm taking the Voltage Surge anyway, but now it's gonna be a little interesting what I'm gonna do with this deck. I guess pack 3 will give me the final answer about that. The Skyscraper, I really want to play this sometimes, but this requires quite a lot of modifications and to make it, you know, cheap enough. I don't think this deck really is built for that. It's not. So I'll take the, I don't know, Unstoppable Ogre here, just in case I'm actually red-white after all. Okay, but now there is a Greater Tanuki. I wouldn't mind to having the Motorhead Patrol. I have some reasons to have this Samurai. Oh, sorry, it's not Samurai, but the Warrior. But now I'll take the Tanuki because I kind of want to be just green-white splashing for a red. And I get another Preserver here. So yeah, people don't draft them high, so I get them. Okay, and I get the Fang of Shigeki, so maybe green was open, but the packs just didn't have that many green cards in this pack. But now I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be green white. I have only one way to enable the splash. So did I get the Terrarium, or was it in a pack? Then yeah, maybe it hasn't come to me yet. Yeah, this is only pick number 10, so this is the pack 2, pick 2 I saw earlier. Okay, well I get the Ninja's Kunai this time. I'm definitely taking it. I'll get another hot spring back. But now I think I'll take the flying thing. Another skyscraper. I could have two of these. Well, I take the dragonfly suit. I like it. So I'm actually not getting that thing I wanted to have. I take the sling just in case I will actually play red-white. But I didn't get the terrarium back. I'm disappointed. I maybe should have picked in pack 1 just in case I end up opening packs that make me want to have a splash available. Am I gonna get this at pick number 9? Or at least the Greater Tanuki? I'm not taking it this early. And I can still just not splash the red. I will only splash red if I can do it with enough fixing. Because I can just have a green-white deck here too. And I think here the Blade Blizzard Kitsune and the Generous Visitor, they are the options here. I really like the Kitsune, but the Visitor is quite good given the amount of enchantments I have. And, you know, green-white usually will have a lot of enchantments. Maybe I'll take that. Yeah, I think this is just such a nice one drop. I'm not happy to pass down the Kitsune, but this pack has a lot of good cards for me, and I got one good card. I'm happy about that. All right, wow, look at this. So there's another Kitsune, but there's also a touch of the Spirit Realm here. Fine, I'll take that. It's also an enchantment for my, generous visitor. But okay, I'm gonna cut this sling now. Heir of the Ancient Fang is gonna be cut too. Another Camis Flare, huh? Actually, this is a fairly weak pack otherwise. No, it's not. Crafted Growth. So I have 2 Camis Flares and 1 Voltage Surge. I don't really have a lot of artifacts to sacrifice, but 2 damage for 1 mana is still gonna be good. I think it's going to be the Crafted Growth here. If I want to enable the splash, I need to pick something like this. And this comes with the +1/+1 counter. It's not the worst. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind splashing 3, but I already have 3 red cards I'm gonna splash. So, oh man, look at these picks. I mean, there are 2 green cards I would be so happy to just have in this deck, but look at these 2 uncommons. Oh boy. So many enchantments, this is so good, but the Kappa Tech Wrecker is just amazing. Oh man, I'm so sad to pass the Naturalist, but I think I have to take the turtle, Ninja Turtle here. Well, I mean, that was a great pack for me, and I got a great card here. Okay, now Wind Scarred Crack. I don't think there's any other card I would be picking over that, because yeah, this is really going to make it possible to actually splash the red here. Alright, good. I will splash the removal, I'm pretty sure at this point now. Norika Yamazaki and Intercessor's Arrest. These are both good. Oh boy. I think I have so much removal that I don't need the arrest here. I have a couple of Touch the Spirit Realms, 3 red removals I'm gonna splash. I will take the Norika Yamazaki. This can just, give me cards. I have more than few samurais, so I don't even have to risk her to die in combat. I can attack with some other samurai and then cast an enchantment from the graveyard. Here it's going to be, well, I don't know if I'm gonna even play the 1 Dragonfly Suit. I take the safekeeping, but of course I already have a lot of playables here, so I don't know what's gonna be the final count. Coming with Spirits, enchantment or land. I have a lot of enchantments, and of course getting a land is, this could be like a But then again, there is a harmonious emergence. I don't have too many expensive things. Maybe I'll take it. How about Story Weave? I think I want to have creature-like cards, which this in practice is. So I'll take that. And there's a Tanuki, or there's a Era of Enlightenment. I think I will take the Tanuki, and I probably won't play like the Sunblade Samurai here now. Now it's enough for me to have one mountain in the deck. That'll be good for the splash. Yeah, I don't need the Enlightenment. I have enough early game here. I don't have too much, but I have some. And this is a fine 2-drop to play here, which I probably will given my Samurai synergy here. Here I don't think I need anything. Let's just take the Ninja or something like that. Okay, I got the Yukai trainee also. Well, that's nice. That's a Samurai, by the way. Okay. Oh, okay, then this thing I almost forgot to put the recording back on when I paused during the waiting the packs, but that was just a Kitsune Ace, which I guess you saw me pick that. Yep, this Samurai I won't be needing, I'm pretty sure. And then let's cut the lands for now. I will cut the Sunblade Samurai because I have this Greater Tanuki as my, high end, and I do maybe like the Harmonious Emergence quite a little bit more. It does have an extra point of toughness, and it can be played on turn 4 as well, unlike the Samurai. So Regent's Authority is probably gonna be cut. Let's see if there's something very easy. I think with the red splash for removal, I don't need the Ninja's Kunai also because I have a couple of white removal spells here. And then not sure about the Invigorating Hot Spring. Maybe it's not so splashable. I have 3 other red cards I'm gonna splash here, so I'm not gonna put that into the deck. And I guess that was all the easy stuff. I kind of will play the Crafted Growth. I will, because it can, it will fix my mana. So I have a couple of Greater Tanukis, although is that necessary? Now let's see. 3 red cards. I have a 1 land that will produce red, and I will of course play 1 mountain in the deck. 2 Greater Tanukis can get the mountain, so that's like 4 ways to get the red mana for 3 different cards. I'm going to cut the Kitsune Ace. That's actually something I forgot there. How many enchantments? Okay, that's still 15. How about the Dragonfly Suit? Maybe I don't actually have enough, these early things that makes the Dragonfly Suit really interesting. I will maybe also cut the Regent's Authority here and the Dragonfly Suit. So how many cards that is now? 26. So yeah, I'm thinking about the Crafted Growth here. How many warriors and samurai I have? That is 6 samurai, no warriors. So I'm thinking about these subduers. Do I want to play like multiple of them? I want to have enough samurais for this Norika Yamazaki. Also the Ancestral Katana could be a bit awkward if you have only a low amount. And yes, actually, maybe I should. Yeah, let's do one change. I will not play the Harmonious Emergence. I will play the Sunblade Samurai, because this does work with multiple of my samurai synergies. Even if I cut one of the subduers. I'm not sure if I will, but even if I do, I will have enough reasons to actually include a samurai instead of this thing which just makes a spirit creature out of the land. Yeah, that makes actually sense. This also can get me a land, so this is going to be a 16 land deck, and I think I won't be playing the Crafted Growth here. It is, kind of a not so good card. I do have some, I might want to ramp up a bit. Well, this allows me to ramp up. But yeah, with these 3 cards that can fetch me a land, if I have, either 2 or 3 mana available, I don't need more lands in the deck. I have also the early, and this gives me a, mana producing creature, and this gives me a, just a card draw as ETB, so I can dig into lands, and this gives me a Scry 2, which helps me dig into lands. I don't think the lands will be a big problem in this deck. No, they won't. And now the question is, what is the last cut? I do like the Tamiya safekeeping. It's just a nice, cheap thing, because opponents will have usually some kind of interaction, and quite often it will cost more than 1 mana. And also, if nothing else, you can just save your creature from, that would be otherwise dying in combat. Let's say my Crater Tanuki is going to battle with a 5-power creature. For 1 mana, I basically, play a new Crater Tanuki. That's pretty nice. So I will not cut the Tamiya's safekeeping. Number of creatures is 15, number of sagas is 2. That means it's total of 17 creatures. Unless there's something else that, gives me a creature. No. So I can easily cut a creature. And I don't want to cut the wisdom. I like it quite a bit. But I know that is also a card I could be cutting. But the card draw is rather easy from there. It is an enchantment, but then again my enchantment synergy is pretty limited to this Generous Visitor, which I have only a 1 copy in the deck. I will play the Katana. I have enough Samurai here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is just about enough early game creature drops. Maybe it's gonna have to be the Historian's Wisdom after all. So how the deck is built, there's 25 cards now, and like I said, 17 creatures when you count the sagas. And that's 8 other cards. Well, three of them are the red removal, 2 of them are the white removal. That leaves me 3 other cards. Historian's Wisdom, Ancestral Katana, and the Tamiya's Safekeeping. So those are the options. I will cut one of them or a creature. Well, it has to be the Historian's Wisdom. If I had more things that care about modified stuff, yeah, that'd be a bit different. But maybe this is a little bit redundant here. It also gives just 1 point of toughness as well, so the creature is still easy to trade with. It's quite different from getting like a +3/+3. Alright, I will cut the Historian's Wisdom, and this is the deck then. I like the Fang of Shigeki. I don't have ninjas or anything, but it's still just a solid 1-drop against opponents. 1-drops, this is truly a 1-drop format, so especially if you're on the draw, you want to have something to play at least on turn 2. Alright, so this is the final enchantment count is still at 13. Final samurai count is at 7 now that I put the Sunblade Samurai there. And I can play now the lands in a way that so 1 mountain, let's take the Mirage. And then this is 1 white source. I will need, well, this is going to get me a white source even if I don't have one. So I can easily count my white sources already at 2. Sadly, I don't necessarily always have the white for turn 2. Well, I guess the Windscarred Crack does allow me to have white on turn 2, but Sunblade Samurai doesn't do that. But anyway, it's more important just to have fairly early in the game all your colors available, and the Sunblade Samurai does help there. So how many forests do I need? Because my green fixing, I have fixing that requires green, so I have to count on getting, well, the absolute minimum has to be 8 forests. I would like to play 9, but let's add the 8 forests first. Let's use this, and that would leave me 6 plains. But I can also, get the plains from these things, and these do require forest. These can get a forest, but of course not before I already have access to green mana. So I guess I could, because I don't want to miss out on the green. I don't have that many green cards, 10, and not a lot of them are that early game drops, but still. I think I have to play now, of course, because of the splash, a little bit unreliable mana, and also the fact that I do play only 16 lands here, but I have so many ways to produce mana with these cards. Oh, maybe not produce, but get lands with these cards, that I think the 16 lands does make sense. So if I put a 9th forest here, that's only 5 plains. but with the Winds Guard crack, that is 6 sources for white. With the Sunblade Samurai, that is 7, and with the Greater Tanukis, that is still 9. So I might not always have the white mana for turn 2, but I think I just have to live with that. I have to live with that. Yep. So this deck is... It does have early game, if I get my mana right. It does have a BAM mythic, pretty darn good one. It has quality uncommons like the Kappatek Wrecker. Sadly, neither of the double strike ninjas. I had to pass them because there were some other good stuff there. And then I do have, I can use these Greater Tanukis in the late game. Also, the Yukai Preserver can be big enough to win in the late game. A little bit of Samurai Synergy. I'm not sure if I should play 2 of these Imperial Subduers, but I kind of want to keep the Samurai count high enough. What would be the other option, like Historian's Wisdom? Now, no, I'll play both of them, and then I have removal, quite a bit of removal here. So I don't really have a kind of card advantage other than the Norika Yamasaki, and then the Kappatek Wrecker can get me a free card. But let's hope I don't get, overwhelmed by opponents' card advantage stuff. So I don't have any flyers here. That's a bit of a liability. That's why I was thinking about the Dragonfly Suit. So would I could cut the Subduer number 2 and put the Dragonfly Suit, but I don't have that many creatures that can crew it. If I had more 1 and 2 drops, maybe then, but not in this case. Yeah, this is the final build, and this is a premier draft, so that also means there won't be any sideboarding. This is the deck I'm going to use in the event. Okay, well, it's all the colors already here. I don't think I have any double white in the deck, so I think I should be able to cast all my spells. And Yukai Trainee with the Katana. Oh, actually I wouldn't... Yeah, I have the Subduer here too. Well, they can kill some of my stuff there, but... yeah, this is a very good start actually. Couple of creatures and then a Katana can be equipped by... either of these can wield the Katana. Okay. They have a defensive early drop there. Well, let's see if they're gonna just kill the Subduer here, because I will be playing the Subduer instead of using the Kami's Flare. Are they gonna let me... Oh, they might want to kill it before allowing me to untap. I might have some pump effect, so that makes sense, but they chose not to do that. So yeah, I'm going to... I don't like to... Well, I'm going to lose a creature here anyway. There's no way I can prevent it. If I use the Kami's Flare here, they will respond by killing the trainee here. So I think I will just have to do this, and at least anyway the creature that survives this turn will be... I guess I could have attacked with this first, offer the trade here, but I actually want to get rid of the ninjas kunai. Because then I have the option to... Because yeah, I can make this into a 4/3 with the kind of Bushido 1 ability, so it will be a 5/4 when it's being blocked, so it won't be trading with testing. But they have a restoration for Eganja. Okay, that is not nice. That's just way too good. But I don't have much options here. Yeah, it's really tough because that's gonna be a 3/4. Well, I mean, first of all, they're gonna get the Katana back if they want to. And they can kill the Yukai Trainee because, of course, it has 4 toughness only if it's gonna be blocked. Yeah. I mean, I haven't drawn any more creatures. I need to draw my 6 drops now. Need to draw my 6 drops now. or something. It doesn't have to be exactly the 6 drop, but they're gonna get this 3-4. Okay. What can I do here? If I just draw lands, I will just lose the game, because this is gonna get them so much value. I need to draw one of my white removal spells ASAP, the things that exile that thing. Although, yeah, it's a creature, it does work. Okay, they get to get their mana, because they are also, you know, stuck on low land count, so... don't even need to kill this right now. Come on, deck. Okay, the Preserver is fine enough. That allows me to leave mana up for the Kami's Flare too. So now they basically, if they don't have anything, they cannot attack with the Architect of Restoration. They will start getting those Spirit Tokens when they attack with it. So that's the problem here, of course. And that also when it blocks. So this is a really good rare. That's a really good rare. I think it's also constructed worthy. Alright, so they will buffer in the mods here. So they're gonna attack for 4 in the air. Okay, they get the 1/1 Spirit Token, so they have infinite jump blockers, and they are gonna also deal a lot of damage in the air. There's no reason for me to use the Kami's Flare. Okay, lands are really important here. That's a druid, so I have to do it like this. I mean, it's possible they will go for a double block, and that's great, but... I mean, involving both the Architect and the Restoration thing, but... Well... I can't beat the rare when I flood out and when the opponent is actually slightly stuck on lands, which means they have a handful of gas. Not a nice way to start the draft. Yeah, that's 6 spells and 8 lands. That I think I'm going to kill right away. Yeah, that is... I mean, the fact they got these 1/1 tokens, look at this, they have absorbed already 12 damage, and if they had to double block, I would have punished them with the Kami's Flare. And these things, at least this stops, you know, flying, so now I have the Death Touch blocker for it, so maybe they won't attack this time. But I guess I need to just draw my... I can still win if I draw like non-lands for plenty of draw steps in a row, and also hit my big high impact cards, and also the opponent must not have anything too great. Lucky Offering, I guess, is something I can maybe live without, but okay, that's gonna make me cry. So how do I do it? I will leave the Fang of Shigeki too. Yeah, they can... I guess any double block involving the Architect of Restoration is fine. And if they block with the Bamboo Crow Archer. Of course, if they have something, then it's horrible, but... They might block with the Archer and the Imperial Moth, in which case that would be great. They might also triple block, which is totally fine. Then I just trade with the Architect of Restoration. But if they make a double block that's beneficial to me, and then they don't have anything, that would be pretty good. They didn't block at all, they don't want to risk. The Visitor... Well, it doesn't do anything right now. Neither of these is a Samurai, so I don't think I need a 3-2 either. I need my actual very, very big things. I did just scry 2 non-lands to the bottom, so I can of course just draw lands instead. Okay, they have 5 lands now. Yeah, man, the 2 tokens able to absorb so much damage, that was really nasty. Because I was really able to... There was a window for me to, you know, force them to make some nasty blocks, but this Architect of Restoration, that's a really good card. Now they can just play some very expensive thing and I'll be in big trouble. Yeah, like that. Okay. If I draw the exile thing, I can exile this and then they have to go to 7 or make a bad double block. Yeah, they have more 4/4s. Okay, I did draw it, so that is... they're not really super amazing, but it's still something. And the opponent is just playing around the trick. They are not gonna make the double block. It would be very good for me if they made the double block, but they can go to 7. It's not a big deal. They have a 4/4 coming up, which will trade with this thing. So yeah, the opponent is of course playing smart. Why take a risk they don't have to take? They can just offer this as a trade. So I guess I need to draw my other touch the Spirit Realm. That'd be quite nice. I do have those couple of those 6/5 tramplers too. I could draw them. I have my own 5/4/4 Vigilant Samurai. But at least the Fang of Shigeki is super important in, you know, preventing the Architect from attacking and offering the trade there. But the opponent is literally having what 6 spells in their hand unless they have a land drop this turn. Okay, and they have another color, a third color I mean. Chiyoto Makami, which is going to return the Architect. Oh, the Imperial Moth. Imperial Moth, yeah, that makes more sense. Sadly, this doesn't even target. I need something very good. Yeah. Well, I'm going to kill this thing. Then I'm going to attack with the 4/4 and let's see if they still are playing around tricks. I guess they kinda have to make the block now. But I mean, trading with the Architect of Restoration is quite okay because they are planning to use the, yeah, they just kind of go lower. Oh, they have the 4 damage thing. Oh, fine. Sure. Well, they had a lot of spells in their hand, so. Alright. I think it was worth, you know, offering the double block there. If I had a pump spell, they could have punished me with this thing. But I guess it was unnecessary. So they attack for 4 in the air, get a spirit token. Yeah, I need to top deck like crazy. I need a demonic tutor each turn instead of a draw step. Let's see if the Magic Arena client, or the server rather, knows what I want to demonic tutor for. Well, exactly lands, and now it's just game over. I won't be beating them. I'm going to 3, they have the 2/4. I have no, there's just a brick wall there. Very close match. 357 versus 344. Alright, that's a nice one. So if the opponent doesn't have removal, I can apply some early pressure with my Samurai. I don't think I need another planes here. This can attack for 4. With the Katana, actually it will attack for 6. If it doesn't get killed. Okay, let's see what is their choice of removal here. I wish I had the Tamiya's safekeeping here. Them letting me tap out this. I mean, them letting me untap would have punished them, but I understand why they did that because they know I'm gonna attack with only 1 creature, so they save more damage this way. Yeah, sure. Decline that. No need to pay there. The Eiganjo Exemplar can still attack as a 5 power with 3 toughness. I no longer can tap anything though. Okay, so ninjas. Well, let's trade then. That's not the greatest trade, but I'm not gonna let them get the discard value again. Ambusher. So how do I do it? I think I'll just use the Spirit Realm. As you can see, I'm already very much not the favorite here. But I had to discard the land, which I actually would have needed because... No, this will put a tapped land. Okay, it doesn't matter. I wasn't gonna have the Kami's Flare up anyway. any more virus beetle, and I'm really gonna be in tough spot. I'm already against 5 cards here. They will be able to trade with most things. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess they buy some time with that. Okay. I'm not really. If I draw like any land, even if it's not a red land, I am more, willing to. Okay, ninjas. I'm not gonna give them a ninja. I just have to, grind. But if I draw a 5th land, I think I'm not gonna get the red here, even if it's. Okay, prosperous thief. Alright, so how about this? What does this mean? I'll play the samurai next turn. I get the tapped mountain here, and now they get the treasure token. But well, then they get a treasure token. What can I do there? Yeah, sadly it enters tapped. Otherwise, I would have just been able to kill it. But opponent had more stuff than I. Now that said, I used the card for something like an equipment. So this is of course when you have equipment and vehicles in your deck. When you don't draw your creatures, it's gonna be of course a little bit awkward. Okay, so this can actually wield the katana 6/5 attacker, but look at this. Okay, well at least it's not a removal spell. It's just yeah, it's just it will still make it more possible for them to raise me. The vigilance is of no use anymore. But yeah, I can kill these guys one at a time though. Opponent is still having 2. Oh, they have now ninja again. Damage phase ninja. Okay. What ninja is it gonna be? No. It was nothing. Oh. I'm taking 8 damage because I can use only 1 Kami's flare. Then I take 1 life loss. So how do I win here? I have no idea how can I win here. How can I deal 13 on the next turn? Actually 11, because this resolves that they get dealt 2 damage. So I go to 2 now, then I lose 1 life. Do I have life gain in the deck? Do I have life gain? Yep, 0-2 start. I'm going to have some trouble finishing at the top 1200 if I'm not going to have a successful premier draft when I'm mythic ranked. But maybe I'm just not as good as the other mythic ranked players. That could be the solution too. I mean, explanation. Another very close match here. Alright, and another hand that is actually quite good. Let's see if I have any chance still. Maybe I just don't understand something about the format. Because this kind of starting hand should give me actually a fairly good chance to do well in the game. Scrying for... I don't have any enchantment in my hand. But I can play the Generous Visitor in a way that, for example, during the same turn as a Kami's Flare. I have a lot of enchantments in my deck. Am I willing to miss my land drop a couple of turns here? I'm gonna keep those on top. Because with this removal I should buy some time anyway. I'll get my first striker on the next turn, so the 2/2 Song Shaper won't be a problem. It only gets power boost, no toughness boost. And I can attack with this thing, tap this thing, and I should probably keep mana up for removal just in case. I just played the Generous Visitor now. But they shouldn't have an attack, unless they of course have a removal on the Hand of Enlightenment, in which case I think I'm gonna burn one of these guys with the Voltage Surge. They might also want to kill the Visitor instead of the Hand, because it's kind of the more dangerous one. They can't know that I have no enchantments in my hand currently, so I'm going to kill some of that. Start with these maybe. Well, there is a Yukai Preserver. That can be really valuable actually. With the channel option. Then I can cast it from the graveyard at some point maybe. If I attack with both, they cannot. It doesn't matter though. I'm going to be the aggressor now. I assume they're gonna make some block on the Subduer. Then I can give +1/+1 counters on both of these things. Yep, that's good. They didn't have a burn spell of their own. Now I'm in a very good shape. Could be a ninja there. I could also block here because, yeah, this can give me some counters, but that could be a black ninja. I don't care about the white double striker, that's not really even a concern here. If I actually get to cast the thing from the graveyard, that's already good value. I think I'm gonna just keep the board clear here. I do have this Kami's Flare, so I can... Oh, they can draw a card now. Okay, I see. So otherwise they would have attacked and each player sacrifice a creature. I guess in that case... Okay, so this was better for the opponent, because then they would have sacrificed this and I would have sacrificed this and they wouldn't have drawn a card. Oh well. I don't mind. Do they have the plus? Okay, they have a... Okay, this could be very good if it's just a combat trick for them. They even take the 2 here because my creatures are modified. Alright, so it seems like there's a chance I won't be finishing the event at 0 wins and 3 losses. I'm of course very much ahead here. We still have 3 cards, another Gravelighter. We have to sacrifice creatures now. Well, I'm gonna sacrifice the enchantment because that I can get back with Norika Yamazaki. Another Edict effect, okay. What's the white for? I've seen red and black. They are splashing for something, but they do have means to splash with the crack. So am I. Okay. Removal or not? No removal. Alright, so now next turn I will have mana to cast at least a 2 mana enchantment from my graveyard, so they need to kill the Norika Yamazaki. Otherwise, if I attack with just, well, with one of these, I get these triggers. If they have one blocker, I can even tap it. I can also maybe kill a blocker, but then I might not be able to cast the enchantment because of course you have to pay the mana for it. So they played a land. That means they are not intending to experimentally synthesize, because they shouldn't play the land from hand in that case. Recon a bargain. They can... Okay, so they shouldn't have played land, but it doesn't matter. They got now a non-lander anyway. So there's a rabbit battery and some fresh cards in their hand. Let's see if that's something that deals with the Norika Yamazaki here. Doesn't seem to be the case. More synergy, but let's do... Okay, I get the trigger now. I can scry to more lands now. Unless I'm forced to use the Kami's Flare for some reason, but they would need to have an untapped blocker for that. So let's scry into something. I know I could use this for planes. I could use this for planes and then still play this Era of Enlightenment. But do I really need that planes? I don't think I need that planes. If this game goes late, I might want to have all my creatures. They have like a, you know, mass removal effect or something. I just scry into some lands. I think that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So I take the mountain here first because, well, I don't need 3 forests, but it's also relevant because that allows me to play both the Katana and the Ancient Flare on the next turn, if I need that. Okay, they just had... Did they draw into more lands? Of course, my next turn's game plan would have been just play a land and cast the Preserver with the Norika's ability. Well, okay, that was an odd game. Very opposite from the earlier 2 ones where I just couldn't keep up with the opponent's plays. Yeah, that is a nice hand. This is an enchantment which will trigger the Visitor. And I have 4 ways in my deck to get the red mana. 2 lands and 2 things that can fetch me. Oh, okay. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer here. Am I gonna offer the trade even here? It just seems like it makes no sense. Yep, it makes no sense. Okay, let's take the red mana now. Oh, come on. Forest. I think I'm losing the game now. I mean, I don't want to be like all doom and gloom, but as you can see, I have no place here. If the opponent has anything, I mean, they already have a great, you know, rare that is gonna net them cards. Unless I draw the red source immediately. And I did draw, well, not the red source, but something that allows me to have it. So let's see if they're gonna use this even once. I kinda hope they just play some creature, because this does take 2 mana. Okay, that means they might... okay, sadly I cannot even... I will take the red mana for sure. It's kind of awkward because I was, you know, getting the sixth land here based on my cards in the hand, but yeah, they can... This is the cost, yeah, so... Don't know really... They're gonna use the Shigeki here, there's no... I mean... That's annoying. And I can't respond to it because it goes to their hand with the cost. And if I try to kill it, they can just respond by returning it to their hand. So they get value out of it. At least they don't draw the Blossom Prancer there. But I'm already here in the ropes here. Not in terms of life total, but in terms of what the opponent has going on. I have to use the Kami's Flare on that and hope they don't have anything for it. Geothermal Kami. Okay, so they didn't get any more. They got 1 land out of it. Now I just need to... The sad thing is that I'm at 7 lands now and I had to use the Greater Tanuki. But that's of course when you do splash, that's what happens. This was a good draw though. So this can get 2 counters. It's still gonna just trade with Geothermal Kami. It can be a 4-3 thanks to this trigger and this. You know, I could put the 1 counter on this. But then it's still gonna be only a 4-5. Sorry, 5-4 when it attacks, so the Geothermal Kami can block it profitably. So I shouldn't really give it counters actually. I don't think I should give it any counters. Now what I can do is I give the Visitor 2 counters. Attack for 5. If they double block, that's fine. All the eggs in the same basket. I guess that's what I do then. Not great at all. Okay, double block is fine. I can trade for both of those. Alright, so they have 3 cards now. Depending on how impactful they are, I could be now in a good shape. That rebuke is totally fine. They have 2 cards. Okay, they have 1 card and they have only 1. I lost my board, but they have only 1 creature that has 1 power. And well, I guess this will brawl with anything that doesn't have high power and first strike. Okay, so we are top decking now. And they of course have a Greater Tanuki, which I'm actually going to be able to trade with. Are they really gonna jump block with the Moth Rider? I'm really don't understand why they did actually not attack with that thing, but whatever. Alright, I got to deal with their Tanuki. Now, I have... Okay, this is just the teachings of the Kirin it's getting... Well, it's still gonna be good if I don't draw a creature, because when it attacks it, they will start getting value out of the creature. Okay, look at this. Yeah. If I draw multiple lands here, opponent has 6, I have 8. 9 actually, but I fetched 1 with the Greater Tanuki. That's all they need to do to win the game. Like this. If that's how I have to go down, then that's how I have to go down, I guess. You have to always remember, or maybe I have to always remember when I face these situations, is that all you can do is do your best in a draft. And if this is the kind of stuff that's happening, then I mean, if you do your best and that's it. So the one thing that is actually quite awkward here is that I drew the voltage search here, which actually would answer this thing. But they just randomly played the careful cultivation on that thing. There was no reason for them to do that. They just thought that maybe if I happen to draw a burn spell. That's actually insane. Why did they play the careful cultivation when there was no reason for them to decide yet who is the best target for this thing? And now I drew the voltage search here. And they start getting, counters and tokens. This is the best Kirin touched Orochi I've seen. That careful cultivation, what was that? I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time because look at the amount of power they have here. I mean, they're gonna get the counters and tokens from this thing. This is insane if it gets to attack. Usually it doesn't because it's just a 1/1 that comes, somewhere around turn 5 or is able to attack on turn 5 or something like that. Opponent can of course block a 1/1 at that point. But not when I draw 10 of my 16 lands. Well, my deck has 6 lands and 16 spells. That's something good. I don't know why the opponent is wasting their time out. I will pause the recording for them in the meanwhile. Okay, they took the turn. So yeah, it seems like I hope that they're gonna try to give a counter and not take a token. I think they should take a token. It's a little bit better to have a white board. But if they're gonna target one of their creatures, yeah, they make a token. So just to preserve my life total, I think I should actually kill something. And it's probably the patrol because that's a flyer that can also tap things. So let's do it before ninjas are their thing. So let's kill it now. But if I would have been able to kill the... well, whatever. So now with this draw they cannot attack anymore. So this at least is a 4/4 that can block the 2/4. So I guess the opponent has drawn some number of... Oh, that's not good. It can give a counter to itself though, so they can actually continue attacking. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I need more help from my deck. And I of course also require them to not have anything but lands in their hand. Or very low impact creatures. It's gonna be a 4/6 now. I can't even block it. All I needed was a 2-power creature, and I could have had a double block on that thing. Well, I don't think I could have played this any better. I have to actually use this in a most ridiculous way because I can't take the 5 damage here. I actually decline that. Well, I cannot decline because I could draw yet an... Okay, fine. I can draw the exile enchantment. My burn spells won't work, but I can draw one of my 2 things. Now I can do this. So I flooded out. I lost. That's it. I don't want to always have excuses that I have bad draws, but you can see that I have here. Even though I fetched, let's forget about the land I fetched with the Greater Tanuki. This is still 10 lands, because I can, yeah. Now the opponent has a lot of lands too, but they also have 12 cards in their deck remaining. I have 19, so I have most of the remaining deck is just a spellster, but I could have drawn, I didn't really need much this, I really just needed very little bit there, but I couldn't get there. So this is the deck, but again, it's one of those drafts that went incredibly badly. Oh, I had this in my deck, I never saw it. That wouldn't have been a good card at all. And these things, in the last game, if I just drew this thing at some point, you know, that would have been enough. That would have been enough to deal with the Orochi thing. It was actually quite ridiculous how they could actually make that into basically about 5-7 in the end. That's not how the rare usually works. You could think that is this kind of splash worth it, because these are, you know, just 1-for-1 removal, but as we can see in the previous game, for example, it would have been important to have removal on the thing. So removal still matters in this format, especially highly efficient one. This can kill like 4 mana creatures and 3 mana creatures. It's quite good. And of course it counters all kinds of tricks too, because it's an instant speed thing. And I do like the Samurai Synergy in this deck. I think this deck was totally fine, but sometimes you just, even if it's a fine deck, you can't win more than 1 match, so I wouldn't change anything here actually. I don't feel anything was underperforming. Yeah. So next draft will be a traditional draft that will be releasing tomorrow. Well, on the next day after this releases. So see you then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.